Well, good evening viewers, and indeed, as you heard, government, specifically the Ministry of Finance, has come up with a number of tax proposals that are aimed at funding the national budget in the next financial year. But we want to understand how this will affect the common man down there.
Thank you. So we have seen a couple of proposals that, like you rightly stated, have the potential to drive up commodity prices. And fuel is one of the proposals that have been introduced in the excise duty amendment bill. We're seeing a proposal to increase excise duty on petrol by 100 shillings, excise duty on diesel by 100 shillings, and excise duty on kerosene by 300 shillings. So while someone may look at it and say, no, it's only 100 shillings, we know that from experience that 100 shillings may appear small, but the compounding effect that it creates is that you find that the prices are going to go up much higher than the actual 100 shillings that has been introduced on such commodities. So you'd find that the cost of transport would go up, and cost of many other things, that because fuel really drives the economy.
If government insists that this is a sacrifice from the taxpayer for the general good, and I mean growing the economy, Uganda's economy further, is this something that you would agree with?
I would not entirely agree, because yes, like we've mentioned, fuel is it's easy to collect that money, because in a way almost each one of us here contributes to that tax. We either travel by public means or we have private cars, and every time for every liter of fuel that is bought by the transporters, the companies that are using these fuels in their machines, that's 100 shillings for the government. So from from that perspective of government trying to collect money based on the pressure that is currently facing, you could say that it's something that they had no option but to consider.
The Ministry of Finance has also insisted that these measures are indeed a part of a strategy to expand the tax base and bring more Ugandans into the taxable bracket. And do you think this is really working?
Looking at say the indirect tax measures, I would not say that is say like the excise duty that we are talking about. I would not look at that as an expansion of the tax base, because already as Ugandans who use fuel for different things, we are already paying tax. So this is just increasing on the burden on the taxes, on the taxpayers that are already existing, and then you find that we have to pay more for the products that we are consuming. So when you talk of expanding tax base, the increase in those prices would in those commodity excise duty rates on those commodities like fuel would not really be an answer to expanding the tax base.
That's all we had time for. NTV Tonight continues. I'm Daniel Kibet.